Welcome back, everybody. It's Jeff Vanderbeck, publisher of the Appalachian News Express and several other newspapers in Eastern Kentucky and one in West Virginia. Welcome back to the Pikeville Panther Pawcast. It's an amazing opportunity for us to get to know people behind the scenes at the Pikeville Independent School System and the students and what they're doing and how great things are going at the independent school system. I am joined today by Miss Glenda Adkins. She is the principal of the elementary school at Pikeville Elementary School, and I wanted to welcome her here. So, Glenda Adkins, welcome. Tell us who you are, what you do, why you're here, and how long you've been a principal.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here and talk about Pikeville Elementary, one of my favorite places in the world to be. I'm going on my 4th year as principal here and taught about 30 years before that. So I've been there a long
Wait a
time.
minute. Stop right there. 30 years before that?
Yeah.
I'm calling nonsense on that. You look 25.
Thank you.
So I don't mean to interrupt you, but you look very young for that. But that's good. Good for you. So the students didn't take a toll on your aging process.
No.
Good
no.
for you. So, all right, 30 years before that. Where were you 30 years before that?
So when I first started, it was 1990, and I started in a first grade classroom. And then after that, Kara started, and we went to a primary situation where we put two grade levels together. So I've been all over the building. Taught K1 for a while, went into a reading specialist position for a little while, for about 10 years. Then went back into the classroom, felt like I could make more of a difference there, and started back in 2nd grade, and then moved all over the school, and this opportunity came up, and I was blessed to get the opportunity to be the principal.
Did you have my kids?
Your kids were there when I was there, but I didn't have them. I think I was teaching the special reading classes when your kids were there.
Okay, good. Yeah, because they went through the elementary school system, and it was for around here, it was a really, really interesting scenario because we didn't know what to expect when my wife and I first moved here, and we took them to Pikeville Elementary, and I was amazed with what they did. So I'm really happy that you did that. You said that you were a teacher and now you're a principal. What is the difference between being in the classroom and now managing all the classrooms and all the kids? I mean, what's the big difference that you're experiencing now between being a principal and a teacher?
The biggest difference for me is probably having the responsibility of all the classrooms and the whole entire school, making sure that everything's running correctly, making sure that we have everything in place that we need, and making sure that, all the teachers are supported. As a teacher, you are more looking at your grade level or your classroom, and you're particularly looking at the students within that, one area. And as the principal, you are looking at all 630 of the students, and then all of your faculty and staff too.
And that goes from everybody from the folks who work in the lunchroom to the custodians to the teachers to the bus drivers and all that stuff. And so when my kids went there, the principal used to dress up for Halloween and Christmas and all that.
Yes.
Did you do that?
We do that. Yes.
No, you specifically. I want to know what you were for Halloween a couple of weeks ago.
For Halloween a couple of weeks ago, Miss Potter and I dressed up as 6'7". So I was 6 and she was 7.
Oh my goodness.
And we did it because the teachers had kind of forbid the kids to say it. So during lunch, they came and they saw us in our shirts that have 6'7" on it. So we had so much fun with that.
Well, you mentioned about having fun with educating. When we went to school, we didn't have fun. I mean, it was just all about strictness and that, and we didn't have the technology that we have. How do you incorporate having fun with educating students at this time? I mean, is there a recipe, or is there a format or a template that you use to have fun with the children and teaching them?
Well, I think first and foremost, the key to that is developing a relationship with them, finding out what they're interested in, finding out what they're doing after school, and when you develop those relationships, then you're able to pick up on those things and incorporate them into your lessons and into what you're talking about at school. And just like the 6'7", making that fun for them. Also with lessons, no matter what you're teaching, you can pull in what their interests are and make it more real to them. And make it
So
a lot of fun.
it seems like you're tailoring education and fun together based upon each individual student, not just as classroom as a whole. Would that be a fair assessment?
Absolutely.
And the teachers are the physical teachers who are there have to understand that concept. And is that something that you brought along, or is that something that's been evolving as the educational institution went along?
I do think it has evolved as the educational institution has changed with technology being more prevalent in the classroom. It allows teachers it takes teaching to a whole new level. It takes learning to a whole new level, and you have access to material that you didn't have before. So you can do anything with the technology that we have today. You can do anything and turn learning into fun.
So access to the material not only through, because when I went to school, it was the Dewey Decimal System, and we had the encyclopedias. We didn't have any of that nonsense that we got now. Now we've got AI, we've got cell phones, we've got computers, we got this. So, how many students come to class or come to that school with a cell phone?
We have them. We don't allow the cell phones, so we do. They do have them in their backpacks, starting at fourth grade and on. Some third graders, but there's quite a few of them that do.
So you're limiting the screen time because you really want them to understand real life stuff as opposed to
Yes.
giving them that
Yes.
opportunity later on.
Yes. Now, each student, the students do have one-to-one with Chromebooks, so that's available to them.
And how does that work? I mean, do you got each student's got a Chromebook, and is that at what level, what grade level?
Starting in kindergarten.
Really?
Yeah.
So kindergartners have Chromebooks. What are they doing on those Chromebooks?
Chromebooks are used to help differentiate instruction, whether it's reading or math or science or social studies. It also opens up a whole new world to them so that they can see visually things that they are trying to learn.
How important is it to have parents involved with the students' education? Because right now, you guys can teach them from 8 to 3 o'clock or whatever it is that you guys are doing. How important is it for them to continue to do things after hours?
It's pretty crucial in this time. There's a lot expected of students, and especially at Pikeville, we have high expectations, and we want to make sure, especially at the elementary school level, that they are getting a strong foundation so that they can build on that as they move forward in their academic career.
That you bring up a good point. I think building a good foundation is important. It's like building a house. You got a crappy foundation, you got a crappy house. You build a child or a group of students in a particular grade with great foundation from learning the thirst for knowledge, those kind of things. When you transition them from elementary to middle, then middle to high school, I believe you get a better student who has a little bit more enthusiasm about learning and understanding things. Do you see that different grade levels react differently? For instance, can you say, yes, the kids I had in first grade 10 years ago, or I knew they were going to be superstars, and I know they're superstars. And the kids I had in second grade 9 years ago, listen, I knew that they just weren't going to do it. Do you ever have any of those things, or how do you deal with the differentiation between all the students that you have?
Well, we're blessed because coming into an elementary school, kids are excited about learning. They're curious, they're naturally curious, and so we get to see that part of them wanting to learn. The differentiation comes whether they need a little more support, learning their reading skills or math skills, or maybe they need accelerated in those areas.
When you say the kids come to you wanting to learn, what is there a specific subject or topic or something that the majority of the kids want to learn?
I think, starting in kindergarten, they all wanna learn to read. That's one thing I think
Right.
they want to learn, but they're so curious about the world itself. They're curious about science topics and how the world works, and they're just learning, vocabulary for different things, so they're real excited and curious, and it's just a blessing to be a part of that and watch that grow.
Do you ever, I mean, as a teacher, I'm sure you had a lot of these, but as a principal, do you have a lot of what we would consider aha moments when a student actually gets something and you say, wow, that's a fantastic thing? I mean, what makes you what is the most rewarding part about not only being as a teacher but as a principal of that school?
The most rewarding part to me is just seeing the smiles of children, hearing the laughter, watching them have those aha moments when they feel really confident about what they've learned and they're proud to show it off. And they're proud to show what they've learned and to share that knowledge with others. Um, that's what I would say is the most rewarding part for me.
Yeah, that's neat. You said that you're excited about coming to school every day. I mean, is that the smiles and the knowledge and the learning? Is that what is most exciting to you about that?
Yes, the smiles, the laughter, seeing them enjoy learning, walking down the hall and seeing so many great things taking place. Students are actively engaged in lessons. They're not sitting at seats like probably we were when we were in school. They are actually working collaboratively, learning to problem solve, getting a really good foundation in those early skills so that they can build upon them. And just being a part of that
Sure.
is amazing.
Do you so the teachers, the staff, tell me a little bit about your staff. What is I mean, in order for you to do your job, you've got to have a great supporting staff. Tell me about your staff.
Well, our staff is probably the best staff. I would put them up against anybody. They are, and probably what sets them apart is they truly love kids and they truly develop a relationship with each kid. They're lifelong learners and they are always reflecting and trying to figure out better ways to be better. And that is always incorporated into the classroom and it shows in their lessons, it shows in the classroom, and it shows in their kids.
So one of the things about a teacher, I remember when I was in school, even when I was in high school and college, I always looked up to my teachers and my professors. And some of my teachers, I just wish that they had a brick tied around their neck and they was dropped in the ocean because they were just the meanest people I've ever met in my life. And some of them are just great people. So when I saw my teacher actually care about not only the classroom, but me personally taking interest and also them continuing to grow, it made me want to be a better student. Do you push your teachers because if the students see them wanting the teachers wanting to learn, I think monkey see monkey do. I mean, is that a fair statement? And what do you do to foster continuing education amongst your teachers?
Well, I would say that we don't really have to foster that. They do it themselves. They are so um, adamant about being the best they can be and so that they can be the best for kids. So we are always trying to help them find what they need and what they want in order to develop their professionalism.
Sure. In the 30 some years you've been teaching, do you have any students that really stuck out that, to still come back and say, hey, I remember when I had you in second grade and now I'm a lawyer or doctor or president or whatever?
I
Are
do.
those great success stories?
Those are great success stories. Those are great success
And do
stories.
you share those with your teachers so that like your teachers can see, especially the young ones, could say, "Yeah, when I was started out at your age as a freshman teacher, now I've got Joey Buttafuoco, who is a bank CEO, and he comes back every year and tells me how great he's doing." Do you share those stories with your staff?
I do share those stories with the staff. Yes.
And they're excited about like making that happen for themselves too.
They are excited about making that happen. I also have students I had when I was young, so, that's a blessing.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
they tell it themselves, so I don't have to tell a whole lot, they tell it themselves.
We had the high school principal in here, Mr. Blackburn, and we talked about how the board and Mr. Trimble, the superintendent, kind of works with them. What kind of barriers are being knocked down because the board is active or Mr. Trimble is active that helps you do your job better? Are there any barriers that you have that, or if you go to Mr. Trimble and say, I need this, and what does he do? Does he get it for you, or how does that work?
So there are absolutely no barriers. Whatever we need, whatever our teachers need, our superintendent and our board of education, they are right there ready to help us and get what we need to make learning better for kids. Mr. Trimble, I can't say enough about him. Um, he is all in, and he truly has a heart for kids. And it doesn't matter if it's late at night, early in the morning, in the middle of the day. If I call him to get advice, he answers the phone, and he has so much knowledge, not just book knowledge, but he has so much knowledge from experience, and um, that really helps as you're trying to lead a school to get that opinion from him, and he's always willing to help.
Yeah, that's a good he's a good resource to have. He does Mr. Blackburn said the same thing about, having him as a resource. We talked about having fun in education. I understand you guys had a pretty neat Halloween event and, recently. Can you talk a little bit about that? And are there any events planned for, like, Thanksgiving or Christmas or
Yes.
Valentine's Day or something like that?
Okay, so yeah, we have Sarah Blackburn, who is a science teacher at the high school, and she's also one of our digital learning specialists. And she started this tradition to do a Halloween lab during the month of October every year at our school. So she plans exciting, engaging science lessons for every single class in our school, and it's all hands on, and the kids absolutely love it.
And what kind of give me an example of what she does. Does she, like, boil the stuff with the eye of the newt or boil a rabbit in there? Wha And that just like in that movie?
So she makes a few secret potions, and lets the students like experiment with them, and it'll cause smoke to come up, and then you clap it, and then it disappears. And she did Jello brains and taught them the different parts of the brains and had them cut the different parts of it, and they learned. They actually learning the vocabulary, but they're also learning what the different parts of the brain are for. So a lot of great things going on in that room.
Oh, that's neat. And how long have you guys been doing something like that?
I think this is the 3rd year.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Do you have any other fun things that are planned up for, like, Thanksgiving or Christmas or anything?
We do have our Living Wax Museum
Yes.
that is coming
It's
up.
a big hit.
It's a big hit.
And when is that gonna be?
That's the 20th and the 21st, I believe,
Of October?
of November.
November. Yeah.
It's
Here we are
it's
in
right
November.
before our Thanksgiving
Gotcha.
break. So yeah, our 6th graders, they love choosing a character or a person that was famous in history and researching it, and they're almost ready. So we're
Yeah.
getting ready.
And I remember, like, when my kids, even when we go every year, it's like athletes or political people or just, inventors or something like that. Is there anybody unique that they've chosen this year that is different than the traditional things? Some of the students, or can you give an example of some of the wax or the living museum people that are going to be there? Well, are they going to have Amelia Earhart or
We always have Amelia Earhart and Disney. All of those. I was told now that they have added some local.
really?
Yeah.
Let me say that again. I'm trying to see that. I want to know who these local pusses are and if you guys are emulating. And if Jeff Vanderbeck is on there, I'm going to have a problem with Glenda Adkins in his higher school.
They have not really said who it is, but they have added a couple of local people that have been important in history,
Like
and
Mayor Hambley and stuff like that. And interesting.
so I'm anxious to see
And that's
that.
open to the public, correct?
That is open to the public.
November 20th and 21st. And what time is that going to be from?
So we do it all day. We open it up that one day from 4 to 6. I'd have to get back to you on. I think it's 4 to 6.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that's always a lot of fun. And now we've got Pikeville, you got football. So we got football going on. What's the atmosphere at the school like on football Friday night?
Oh, it's exciting. Nobody loves their high school Panthers like our little Panthers. They truly love and respect, and they are so excited to get out there and support them on Friday nights, and they love it when they come to school and see them. So it's just a great.
Yeah, speaking of good role models, a lot of those kids on the football team, even, I don't mean to be single anybody out, but the volleyball team, the soccer team, all those people, those are great role models because a lot of those kids are good kids, and I think it's real important to see those younger kids see what they want to emulate and be like, because anything's possible. We can make anything happen.
Anything's possible.
The only barriers we have are the ones we put up ourselves.
Yes.
So, and I you can quote me on that one.
I will.
So what is, as a principal teaching Pikeville Elementary School in 2025, 2026, and beyond, if you go that far, what is your biggest concern going forward?
That's a good question. Um,
Is it funding? Is it the quality of students? Is it the that we're losing population, or the concerns are kind of washed away because you got a great staff and a great board?
Honestly, there are no concerns. We do have a great staff. We have a great board of education. We have a fantastic superintendent who leads us in the right direction and is there to support us. I have no concerns.
That's good. Well, it's really interesting because a lot of times we talk about these things, and for you to be as calm and cool and collective and see that, and these students see you that way, not being concerned other than the fact that you want to make sure these kids get a great education. I think that says a lot about what these kids are going through, what they are looking at. So, they see people that are all stressed out all the time. That's going to be like, geez, I don't ever want to do that in my lifetime because I don't want to get that stress. Uh, what type of things do you think that these students are looking at after they get out of school? Are they looking at going into what kind of professions are you starting to talk to them about, or what kind of interests do they have? Are they looking at professional careers? Are they looking at journalism? Are they looking at being a doctor, a lawyer, pastor, or whatever? What do you see, or is it too early to tell?
Well, for our little ones, they want to grow up and be a policeman or a fireman
Right.
or something like that. As they get older, probably around the 5th or 6th grade, you start seeing them get to where they are looking at what they really want to do in their future. And we
Opportunities?
we give them a lot of information on what's out there. They actually start thinking about what they want to do as they get older, and um, we try to start them early on that path and get them exposed to a lot of different careers that are out there.
And I'm sure that the university and the hospital and those people come in and maybe do some stuff. And you have a career thing. Just talk about different careers. I know that
We do.
because we've been involved with that, and I think that's vitally important at
Yes.
that age. And I think that when you see those kids at that young age, seeing that, oh, there are things out there that I can do, that's a really good thing.
And we try to tell them, you got to do what you love. So you got to think about the things that you love, and that'll lead to the job that you should have.
And then when they see your enthusiasm and your love of what you do every day, when you get to work every day and you love to come to work, they say, Mrs. Atkins, you don't have a job because what you're doing is fantastic.
Yes.
And that's great because they want to emulate that and be like you. So that's fantastic. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for joining us for the Pikeville Panther Podcast. Mrs. Glenda Adkins, it was such a pleasure to meet you. I heard lots of great things about you. You're a fabulous guest. I can't wait to have you back again, have some of the kids back with us.
Yes.
And it'd be really cool because I'm really interested in seeing what they're doing. And I can't wait to see the on November 20th and 21st. I really can't wait to get there because it's so cool to pass through.
Yes.
So thank you once again for coming. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me.
No problem.